today we're being joined by potential Aflw Draftee from the Allies, Jasymn Thompson. Jazz, thanks for coming on.
Thanks for reaching out to me. It's a pleasure.
No worries. So tell us a bit about yourself, what got you into footy and what type of player you are.
Well, I only started playing footy last year. I come from 12 years of basketball before deciding to make a move. So I started playing last year for Ulverston Youth Girls and then got some interest from the Devils and then started training with them and then made the team this year, played all games except for one for missing Allies. So made Allies, played all three there. Got to play a VFL game for North Melbourne, which was really cool. And then got the Aflw draft combine invite, which was awesome. So yeah,
that's good. That's good. So we'll backtrack to starting footy. How was that journey? As you said, you most recent in the last year. So how was that? How do I put it? How was that change for you? What made that change to want to move into footy?
Well, as I said, 12 years of basketball, I was kind of getting a little bit sick of it. And I thought there was something out there that I could do better. And I knew that my biggest strength as an athlete is my running. And because the basketball court's pretty small, I wanted to see what I could do on a big footy oval. And turns out it's not too bad.
That's good. So that North Melbourne VFLW game you said you played, how was that opportunity for you to play at the level below the AFLW and get that better taste?
It was good. I loved the preparation when I went into there. And all the girls were lovely. Some of them were playing, or some of them are playing AFL at the moment. And really good to see that they're going into the finals this weekend. So that's great. But yeah, it was a good experience and learned a lot from it.
So playing from Tassie and at the Allies, how was that opportunity coming about, and how have you enjoyed that time? Because obviously it's been pretty good for you personally.
Yeah, I did not expect to make Allies at all. A couple of other girls in my team were talking about it. I was like, oh, nah, it's my first year of actual proper Devils. And then I got told that I was playing. I was in shock, and then got told I was playing the first game, in shock again. But yeah, I just took it one day at a time, and just tried to build on every game.
So how was that first game for you for the Allies? How nervous was it? I take, and how'd you go?
It was very nerve-wracking. It was, pretty cool. I was there with a couple of my other friends, so it was good that I knew some people. But, we had a camp in Sydney the weekend before, so that was awesome to meet all the other girls and, be around them.
That's good. Now, I'm going to list off some accolades here because you mentioned about the draft combine. So you got, first off, you're getting that invite and that you're a high-volume ball winner has been described here. And you're an outstanding athlete, as you mentioned, with the basketball as well. A strong defensive competitive game. But your draft combine was very, very noticeable, finishing third in the 2K time trial and also recording a top 5 all-time running record of 7 minutes and 23 seconds. How was the draft combine for you? Obviously pretty good.
Again, I was pretty nervous, but I knew that my 2K was the best, like my best event. Obviously, I come from a running background, so I've been to state a couple of times for the 400, so I kind of know like all that training, what to do. But I was more focused on that 2K rather than the other events. So when we got that, which was the last event of the day, I just wanted to get it done, and I was very happy with my time.
That's good. So with the draft process in under a month's time, how are you feeling heading into the draft process, and what's the talk like been with clubs? How you found that process?
Good. I've talked to a couple, obviously interstate clubs over the last couple of months, which was very good to see where their heads were at. But yes, obviously watching the boys the last couple of nights, it's made me a bit more nervous, but I'm excited, and I'm just going to take the next 4 weeks very low key and slow, and then get ready for the night.
Now, how was the very first interaction with an AFLW club in these meetings that you said you had in the last few months? How was the first meeting, and how did you feel you thought it would go going in compared to when you came out of it?
Nervous again. I didn't really know what to expect. I didn't know what sort of questions they would ask. The first meeting was a Zoom call with my parents next to me, so that was quite interesting. But I loved it and kind of liked the pressure, if you know what I mean.
Yep.
Yeah.
That's good. So was there any weird recruiting question, not necessarily in that meeting, but in any meetings you've had, that you thought's a bit odd? Because obviously, as you would know, in the past, you hear about all these questions that AFL draftees and women's draftees get asked, like, if you're a car, what car would you be? Dead or alive, who would you go out for dinner with? Has there been any type of questions like that or anything else?
It wasn't too weird. I had a couple, do you have a boyfriend, or would you go
Actually,
out on a Saturday night or something like that? I thought that was kind of funny, but yeah, that's about it.
that's fair. Maybe they want to know if you would move interstate. That could be why they asked those type of questions as well.
Yeah.
If you were to compare yourself to a AFLW player or AFL player, what type of player would you describe yourself as?
I try and play like Orla O'Dwyer from Brisbane Lions.
Yep.
She's a really good runner. She smashed their 2K. So yeah, I just want to keep playing like her.
Very similar traits there. Is there any favourite teammates that you've got at the Tassie side or at the Allies side that you've kind of connected well with?
Being from northwest of Tassie, we have like our own little regional training. So northwest, north, and south train together. So I have my two best friends, Candace and Lucy. So we all play in the Devils together.
Nice.
Yeah, love playing with them, and I got to play Allies with Candace, which was awesome.
Good. Any nicknames you get given that you like or don't like?
I've grew up having Jazzy T a lot.
Yeah.
I did get speed wobbles once. I fell over in my 200-meter race at high school.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I was going to ask how that came about, but yeah, that's, you get any stock standard ones like Jazz or Jazzy or something like that?
Yeah, it's mainly Jazz or Tomo. Yeah, something like that.
Any coach's pet at the Tassie side or the Allies side?
Well, I reckon some of the girls would probably say me as a coach's pet for the Tassie.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Any reason why they would say that?
I don't know. You might have to ask them about that.
Maybe they're trying to throw you on the bus. I don't know. If there's any favourite players to watch in the AFLW, you mentioned Orla O'Dwyer there, but is there any players that you try, like you mentioned, model gamer for like Orla O'Dwyer, but is there anyone that you like watch closely along with her to try and like compare notes or compare its style of games as well?
Yeah, back with the Brisbane Lions, I follow Brisbane for the girls. Jade, they're all really good players. Mon Conti from Richmond, she's really good, so I try and watch a little bit of her. Yeah.
So you mentioned Brisbane. Do you support Brisbane in the AFL as well?
No, I actually go for the Bulldogs in the AFL.
All right, so I'll mix the questions up. Okay, so with the Bulldogs as the men's this year, obviously a bit disappointing with how they ended up going.
Yeah, not very good.
No. Now, the girls' side, they're in a prelim this week against Geelong at Brian Holmes Arena. How do you feel that they're going to fare in that game?
Well, I don't know. I hope they get up. Yeah, a bit passionate towards them too, but I reckon they got it.
They should have. Now, Miles will ask this now since we're on the topic of that. Who is your premiership pick this year, and is it the Brisbane Lions?
Yes, 100%.
Nice.
Yeah.
Good. Well, I mean, they'll be up. Is there any AFLW players that have given you any advice in this draft period and how to handle it?
I've talked to Megan Gaffney from Giants a few times. Obviously, she's from my way. So yeah, I reached out to her when I was having a chat with Giants, and she just told me what they would ask me and everything like that. So she's been really helpful.
That's good. I'm sure that would help ease the pressure, I suppose, meeting clubs and in this process when you got someone that's already in that environment helping you out.
Yeah, definitely. It was good. I got one of my coaches told me to reach out to her, so I did. Yeah.
It's good. Do you recall the goal in the AFLW from Danielle Ponta from the centre square from the centre square start of the season, where it went over like a couple of plays? Is there any teammate that would be able to replicate that, or would you be able to replicate it, or someone that thinks they can that can't?
Oh, I definitely probably can't kick that far, but I reckon I mentioned before Lucy. I reckon she'd have a good crack at it.
Very true. Now, any outside of footy interest? You mentioned obviously with basketball as well. Was there anything outside of basketball, like any hobbies you do, any cooking, anything like that?
Well, I'm a personal trainer, so that's gym is a big passion of mine. So I work at a gym, pretty much full time. So yeah, I love that environment.
So what got you into the gym side of things? Well, as you mentioned, basketball and then footy came late. So how did the gym process go about, and what got you into wanting to be a personal trainer?
It was actually during the COVID time in 2020 when we were all in lockdown. I just decided to start getting some few get a few gym equipment at my house, and then started a bit when we went back to school, and then it just went from there, really.
That's good. What's the best individual game you've played in for the Tassie side or the Aflw side that you would feel would be the game, if you were lucky enough to get drafted, would be the game that probably helps you get over the line, or at least helps increase that chance?
Definitely my few games in Tassie at Penguin at Dale Park. I've had have good games on our home ground, and probably our last Devils game, it was a semi-final up in Lonnie. Played a couple good quarters there.
Nice, that's good. So have you kicked any goals in this year's for the Allies? And if you have, what's the best goal you've kicked?
I only kicked one this year, and I kicked it for Tassie.
Okay, so how was that one?
It was all right. I was playing on the wing, and I just saw the whole left side open in the 50 and just decided to run in and call for it. And lucky enough, I got it kicked to me and kicked it through.
That's good. That's very good. Now, who do you feel is the best player in the competition in terms of the AFLW? And yeah, because obviously it's really tight, isn't it, to see who the best player is, not just this year, but in general. Obviously, you mentioned Mon Conti already, Jazz Garner, Ash Riddell, Laura Garner, Ebony Marinoff, the Sparker sisters. Who do you feel is the best player this year and overall?
Oh, I cannot decide, but yeah, I'm sticking with my couple, Mon Conti and Jade and Orla. They're my favourites, so.
That's fair. If you could poach any other players to join the Brisbane Lions, to join Jade and Ola at the Brisbane Lions, who would you like to poach for the Lions? From another club?
I'd love to see Gaff up there from Giants. She'd be cool.
Yep.
Going up to, I think she'd like the hot weather up there. But yeah, I don't know.
That's fair. What's something someone does at the club, at the Tassie Allies or anywhere, that you just cannot stand that someone does, it, like jumping out of a bin, trying to scare people, leaving rubbish around? Is there anything in particular that annoys you that someone does?
Some of the girls make TikToks, and it's just kind of funny. It comes up on my For You page, and they're like, yeah, at the airport or something. It's just funny.
Who loves the? Well, this can kind of correlate to this answer for this question. Who loves the limelight, the attention, and the camera, and cannot just get enough of it? And they know where the camera is, or in this case, posting a video, knowing they're going to get a reaction from it.
Couple of girls down Hobart. I'd say most girls would probably say me, but yeah, I reckon some of the girls down Hobart would be definitely for that.
That's fair. Who's the toughest opponent you've had to match up on in the AFLW? In the Tassie side this year?
My first ever Devils game, I played on Mel Staunton. She was in the Allies with me, but unfortunately didn't get to play. But yeah, I go back to that very, very first game against the Giants, and realised I was matched up against her.
Daunting experience, I'm sure. What's some teammates you've been impressed by that kind of flies under the radar, that don't get talked about, that should?
In the Devils, Candace, she's an overager. Unlucky not to get picked up last year, so I really hope she gets picked up this year. But yeah, she was our captain this year, and was just a leader by example, and just I love playing behind her. Yeah,
it's good. It's a real pleasure coming on. But I got one more question for you. Rising star tip for this year. Obviously, there's a few names. You've got to have Ella Roberts, you have Zali Goldsworthy, Ali Morpher, Jazz Fleming. Who would you have in that? Or Matilda Schultz as well. Who would you have in that category? Because it's obviously hard to choose.
I'd definitely go Zali Goldsworthy. I followed her since her whole journey at the Giants, and she's just gone up exponentially. Like, she's crazy. Yeah.
Absolutely. Remember I'm sure then that game against Carlton when she kicked 5 and this year and had like 20 odd disposals was obviously a clear standout game for her.
Yeah. That puts her over the line for sure.
That's a good choice, Jazz. I really appreciate you coming on. All the best in a month's time. Hopefully dreams get realised and you join an AFLW club and have a long career at whatever club that is. Appreciate you coming on, Jazz.
Lovely. Thank you.
No worries.